What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about a long-awaited video, something that you guys have been requesting for a little while, my portfolio. We're going to talk about my portfolio. We're not going to go over the numbers. I'm not going to tell you guys how much I have of anything. I'm just going to tell you what my portfolio is, what I am holding, how much I'm holding as far as like the percentage of my portfolio goes, and what I wish I was holding. What are some coins that if I could add to the mix, what would be some coins that I would add to the mix, stuff like that. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. Let's get into it. I do want to start the video off by saying that every single coin that I hold, every stock that I hold, I would put them in my portfolio again, given the chance. If I had cash right now and I had no stocks or no crypto, every single thing that we're talking about right here, I wouldn't second chance it and roll with something else. I would stick with every single choice that I'm going to go over in this video. So let's get into it with that in mind here. So these first three coins are not in any particular order. I mean, technically Bitcoin Cash, Compound Mana, it's in an order, but I have about the same amount of all of these, right? Each of these probably makes up about 20% of my portfolio each, or 25% at the most, right? Something like that. So they're just one good pump. Any of these given coins are one good pump away from being my top hold in my portfolio. But Bitcoin Cash is a hard fork of Bitcoin. BTC itself is also a hard fork of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin both forked off of each other, right? So it's just the better one. It's the faster one, cheaper, more efficient, right, overall, and I believe it's more decentralized as well. There's debate on that, you know, why it's a little bit debated, but nonetheless, I think Bitcoin Cash here, regardless of that debate, is in a multi-cycle, lifelong consolidation phase. It looks like it wants to break out of it this cycle. I think it's going to do promising things, assuming that it performs similar to what its hard forked twin brother BTC does, or sister, whatever it is. I would assume that a run up to 20K by the end of the cycle is completely possible. So that's something that has my interest, being at $436. It's like getting in a time machine and buying Bitcoin back whenever it was worth $436. Literally, quite literally, it's like a second chance at Bitcoin. That's how I look at it. So that's why I like Bitcoin Cash. And again, it's faster, it's cheaper. If you're ever sending Bitcoin from a place to a place, just send Bitcoin Cash instead, man. Like you don't have to hold it. If you don't want to hold it, that's okay, but use it as a means to transact instead of using BTC, because it's faster and it's cheaper. It really is. If you want to be gung-ho and you want to stick to Bitcoin and you don't want to use BCH because you feel like it's blasphemous, that's okay, but it is better. It is faster. You can't deny it. So that's why I like Bitcoin Cash. It's just the better Bitcoin, and it's at a cheaper value. It's got all the same tokenomics. It's got 21 million Bitcoins. It's got a limit of that. The halvings happen at the same time, right? It's literally producing the same amount of Bitcoins each year as BTC is. It's just a different version of the same ledger. Anyways, Compound here is the next one on the list. Compound I got because this is a DeFi token. It's a DeFi token that aims to allow, decentralized means for lending, for borrowing. That's what DeFi is, right? Decentralized finance, DeFi. If you want to know what that is, I guess you can just look that up a little bit better, or just to explain it in a short kind of passage here, I would say DeFi is basically what I just said. It's something that's it's like banking, but decentralized. Instead of going to a bank for a loan, instead of going to a bank to lend, you don't lend money, right? You lend money to people, but you don't necessarily lend money to a bank. I guess you do, but you don't get paid for it. You can actually use this to lend. You can use it to borrow, and you don't need a credit score. You don't need proof of residence. You don't need any of that stuff, all that paperwork, all the background checks and stuff that come in with banks. You don't have to go in during a business day. You can do it on the holidays, in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter. You can do it from anywhere in the world, right? It's something that I think will, if not Compound itself, something in this niche space of DeFi will put banks out of business. If not putting them out of business, it'll have to make them change their business model, right? Like whenever banks in America are paying people to take out loans, right, when there's negative interest rates, when they pay you to take out loans because that's the only way they can stay in business, it's because of things like this, Compound. And I think Compound being at $76 can go to a total of $8,200 by the end of the cycle. That would be the maximum potential I could see it achieving, and it is possible. This is crypto, guys. Make no mistake. It can go ballistic. It really can. I've seen it happen every single cycle. Will this be the coin that is that showstopper? I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not holding out for 8K, but I'm not discounting it either, right? The area that I'm expecting personally is 4K to 2,400, and being at $76 right now seems like a pretty good investment to me. And I like the idea of being involved in DeFi too, and Compound seems like a pretty big, pretty talked about coin in that space, right? Of course, there's Aave, there's other coins like that as well, right? And that's XCN is another one of those coins. We'll get into that, but that's why I like Compound essentially. Is I think that it's innovative, and it's I think it's backed by the right people. I think that it will grow. I think it's kind of a sleeper, right? This is a long phase of accumulation. Whenever it breaks out, you're gonna see the most bullish reaction breaking away from this zone than you've seen throughout this whole thing's life, right? Like when the bull market really gets going, when the Bitcoin dominance really drops, it's gonna be phenomenal. But enough about compound. Let's move on. Mana, Decentraland, very first metaverse token that ever existed in the history of humankind, right? It's the very first crypto metaverse token, and for that reason alone, I think it's going to do well, right? Need I say more? The first crypto, Bitcoin, it's the best crypto. It has the highest market cap, right? The first meme coin, Dogecoin, highest market cap for a meme coin is Dogecoin, right? The first smart contract coin was Ethereum, I believe. So it's the top coin. It's the second top coin, but it's the top altcoin technically, right? XRP is the first banking coin or coin that associates with banking, stuff like that, right? And it's the top of its league. Mana is, and then BNB as well. It's the first exchange token. It's at the top of its game as well. USDT is even the very first stable coin, and it's the most used stable coin, right? Mana, Decentraland, the first metaverse token, I think it's got a place. I think it's going to go far. I like Mana a lot, right? It's been around for a little while. This isn't even its whole chart. Its whole existence looks more like this. It's just nothing but an uptrend. It's a beautiful chart. And I think by the end of this cycle, it's worth about 47.5 cents now. I think it could 100x. I really do think we could see prices around $45 to $50 by the end of the cycle. If not at least $23, and at a true minimum, $14.60. But at a true minimum of $14.60, it's worth 47.5 cents now, man. Like I think it's a very promising project, and I think it's going to do well. The structure of the charts, by the way, is phenomenal too. So it's a project that I invested in last cycle, but I got in down here, so I missed a good bit of the move. I'm getting in at the lows now, and I'm ready to catch the full move this time, man. I really do think that it's phenomenal. It could go ballistic. It could run all the way up to $100 or something by the end of the cycle, but I doubt it. I really do doubt it. I think you're going to have a hard enough time getting up to 23 to 45, $46 itself. So that's kind of the area that I'm looking for by the end of the cycle. So that's Mana. LCX token. It's an exchange token. It's a decentralized exchange token, right? It's a new token. It's only been around for a little bit, but it is a decentralized exchange token, and I think exchange tokens have a place. I like exchange tokens. I know earlier this cycle, a lot of people like I feel like BitBoy, Crypto Man Ran. There's some other people I can't think of right now, but they're like trashing exchange tokens, and now everybody's all pro exchange tokens. I think exchange tokens will always be. They're some of the most practical use case in crypto, right? I think store of value, peer-to-peer cash, electronic verification, validation, secureness, as far as like applications go for crypto, right? These are all things that just like seem to come gaming, right? It's just like no-brainer applications that are going to come. I think with exchange tokens, it's also kind of a very usable application because it doesn't need anything more than that. As long as your exchange is operable, as long as you're getting some kind of rewards or bonuses using that exchange token, it'll always have value over the US dollar, so you'll always have reasons to hold it. And anyways, there's more to LCX than just what I've said here, and I think that anybody looking to invest in this should look at the white paper. You should always look at the white papers, guys, right? You don't know how to find the white paper? Where's this white paper? Just type in LCX white paper. Boom. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just type it, and then yeah, LCX. If it's on like allcryptowhitepapers.com, or if it's on like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, maybe don't, but if it's on lcx.com, that's how you know it's the real deal. But just look up the white paper, read it, right? If you can't comprehend some stuff, just go through it, right? Give it your best. And not everything. This is cryptocurrency. It's the next technical revolution in currency. You're not going to understand everything, at least if you're the average person. I'm not trying to downplay it. Some people might be able to understand every single word that every single white paper that they say comes at them, right? But the average person, there's going to be not a good bit, but there's going to be parts of those white papers that might go over your head, right? You might have to read them a couple times. Read them. If you don't understand it, that's okay. Just move on, right? But try to understand the cryptos, the projects that you're investing in. Anyways, let's move on from here. Okay, LCX. I feel like I told you why I was investing in it, right? I like the idea, the concept. I tried to move around niche to niche, right? Niche to niche, whatever you want to call it. Also, whenever I bought it, the price was just right. It was down here, kind of at a previous. It was quite literally at this previous high. It did go lower afterwards, but now we're up here, obviously. So I bought in, I want to say it was like right around 13 cents. But LCX, it's going to do well. I think it's going to do very well. By the end of this cycle, it's worth 21.5 cents now. What's its market cap again? LCX. 202 million. A coin like this could 100x. It absolutely could 100x from here. So, I mean, I'm talking like a $21 price or more is completely possible for this by the end of the cycle. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it only sees a $10 price or a $5 price. I don't know, but it's at 21 cents now. I think it's got a lot of room to grow, to say the least. So LCX, there's that. XCN, like Compound, it's a DeFi token. I think XCN's a bit more. Compound's a DeFi token that's actually like a CeFi token. It's a centralized, decentralized token. XCN is actually a true, I think, decentralized finance token. It actually is a DeFi token. A lot of the DeFi tokens that exist, they're not actually DeFi. It's like traditional finance getting involved in cryptocurrency, and it's actually very centralized points of operation. But XCN probably also is a little bit centralized too, but less so than most of them. Just kind of an odd one out, right? I looked it up. I was reading up the white paper, and I just happened to like it more as far as like Compound goes or Aave goes. I actually like the XCN white paper more, but I've tried to use XCN before. It says that there's borrowing and lending going on before. I tried to hook up a wallet so that I could interact with the borrowing and lending mechanisms. This was back in August, and I had a hard time doing it. It wasn't like necessarily accessible. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I thought I was doing everything right. So, and I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world, but I'm not dumb, right? I'm pretty handy when it comes to this stuff. So if I can't figure it out, either it doesn't work or they need to make it more user friendly, apprehensive. Is that the right word for it? So there's some bugs in this, but again, just with the same kind of idea of Compound, this is the kind of coin that will put banks out of business, right? Or at least make them have to pay people to take out loans. They will literally have to pay you to take out loans. If this thing sees new all-time highs, and I say if because we don't know, but if it does, 42 cents to $2.42 are the target areas. You're not even at a cent. You're not even at a half a cent right now, man. So when I'm talking about gains, like you don't even need to see new all-time highs. You could go right up to your 886, which if you don't see new all-time highs, that'd be where I expect you to go. That's still a 22x from here. So you could not even see new all-time highs and still you're seeing a 20x. If you only go to your golden ratio, which I doubt you stop there, I bet you go higher than that. That's still a 6x. So even at your worst case scenario, you're still seeing like a 6x from here. But if you go to new all-time highs, the minimum target is 160x. 160 minimum target. The maximum target is like a 900x. And I know it sounds crazy, but here's the crazy thing, guys. Stuff like this happens every single cycle. And if you don't think it can happen to you, then it's not going to happen to you. I'll tell you what, right here, right? If XCN goes all the way up here and you don't think it can go up here, I promise you're not going to catch that ride. You're not going to catch that 900x ride. No, you'll sell here, you'll sell here, you'll sell at any of those points, but just because it sounds crazy doesn't mean that it can't happen. And it won't happen for you if you don't think it can happen. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, right? Like if you never think you can fly, you're not going to go out and make a plane that can fly, right? But the guys that think they can fly, they're the ones that gave us avionics, right? Or aviation. So, I mean, I don't know if avionics is the right word. Aviation. I'm just saying, if you want a 900x, you at least have to think it's possible. You at least have to accept it as a possibility, because if you don't, you'll never make a 900x. I don't think I'm going to 900x my money with this thing. Hell no. Absolutely not. Are you crazy? I'm not crazy. No way. You're crazy. No, I'm not going to 900x my money with this thing, but I accept it as a possibility. It could happen. And because I accept it as a possibility, maybe I won't sell all of my coins whenever I pull a 170x. Maybe I'll just sell some of them. Maybe I won't sell all my coins when I hit a 300x. Maybe I'll just sell some of them. And maybe I won't even have 20% of what I started with, but I'll still have some to sell at the top that was at a 900x. You know what I mean? So a lot of potential. I'm not saying that it's going to do this. I'm more just focusing on that because it's more of like a philosophical thing. Don't deny yourself of your true potential. You're the only person that can do that, really, right? But at a minimum, even the minimum all-time high, new all-time high target would be over 100x. Beyond the other reasons I've listed, that's a rather appealing use case. So that's XCN there. Looking at Sandbox is the next one. Just like Mana, Decentraland, Sandbox is a metaverse token. I like Sandbox a lot, and it's kind of like a hedge or a hedge for Mana. Right, it's like XCN and Compound. I have two DeFi tokens. I've got two metaverse tokens because metaverse is pretty similar, in my opinion, to gaming. Right, gaming tokens or gaming itself can be involved and implied in any kind of metaverse atmosphere. Right, and I just think that the Sandbox. A lot of people last cycle were saying Sandbox had more users, so it was going to outperform Mana, and it did. And this time around, to my knowledge, Mana actually has more users on a day-to-day basis than Sandbox does. But Sandbox has been outperforming Mana. So this one's actually become my most recent purchase, actually, as far as cryptos go. This is my most recent purchase is Sandbox. So I like this one a lot. I've got a lot of high expectations for it, high hopes. You know, it's at 56, 57 cents right now. I think this thing could go to 20 bucks, 40 bucks, 80 bucks by the end of the cycle. I really do. So I got a lot of high hopes for this one as well. It's at this kind of bottom. Can I get something like this? Yeah. It's at this or not bottom, it's at the top. It's at the bottom of the move, right? You move down, it's at the bottom here, but it's at the top of this box. You're consolidating. So I think you're about to rip, and when you do, you're probably going to see a ferocious move. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, you're going to do this. You're going to do a move like it's going to be very fast, and it's going to take you all the way up to about 270. You're at 57 cents now. It's going to happen in a very short amount of time. I think it's going to be phenomenal, right? But not financial advice, none of it's financial advice, but I think beyond that, of course, I think that Sandbox can see new all-time highs, of course, as high as, come on now, $23, $40, $84. Could you go higher? Sure, but that's the kind of length of my expectations for Sandbox. Storage is the next one. Storage A. This one I actually had a smaller holding of, and I did hold Storage and Blue Zell together. Blue Zell and Storage both, they're like gaming storage blockchains. I don't even know if Storage is completely just gaming or if it's just for data storage in general. But I know that it definitely, like, even if it is just data storage, that's good for gaming as well. I got to do some more reading up on Storage. It's been a while since I've read up on it, but I used to hold Blue Zell, and I rolled it over into Storage because Blue Zell was gaming data storage on the blockchain. That was why I invested in it. Storage was a similar coin, so having two in the same niche, right, to just diversify and have that hedge against itself. You know, what's good for one would likely be good for another, but Blue Zell got delisted off of Binance. It's getting delisted off of Coinbase from what I heard. They're not making any products, any progress. The development team, as far as I can tell, is just not there. There's just nothing going on with it. So moved it all into Storage. Storage was kind of my hedge against Blue Zell, but now it's like my primary data storage crypto. So it's not my biggest one, right? You can see it's kind of at the lower ends of this list. If I had to give it a percentage of my portfolio, it's probably like not even 3% of my portfolio, but I still think Storage can do a lot, right? It's at 51 cents right now from a high to a low. And I did roll my Blue Zell funds into this, right? I didn't put it into something else. I put it into this because I am confident enough with this thing that not only will it see new all-time highs, but I think it can see phenomenal gains. It's at 51 cents right now. It's got a low enough market cap where literally seeing a price all the way up at 26 bucks, it's not impossible for it at all. Seeing something at 57 bucks, even up at 186 bucks, it could see anything and everything in between. So 100xable, multi-100xable, absolutely it is. Storage, gaming, or just data storage blockchain. That's why I like this one, right? Jesus coin, meme coin, but it's the first and biggest religious faith-based meme coin that exists in crypto. It's the very first right now. I was telling you guys about first, right? The reason why Bitcoin's the top, the reason why Dogecoin's the top dog, Ethereum, XRP, Mana, right? Because they were the first. Now, Jesus coin might not be the first meme coin, but it is the first religious meme coin that wasn't like a joke and that it actually stuck around and stuck and it formed a community. Jesus coin here, I think, what's its market cap at? We look at Jesus. 10.5 million, right? Very low market cap. Liquidity is nice at 1.8 million for that kind of a market cap, I think. The volume is pretty low, to be completely fair, but oftentimes you see the lowest amounts of volume whenever you are about to break out, you know, when you're at the end of a consolidation phase. So hopefully we are in this kind of crab market where we've been moving sideways for a while. We're at the bottoms here, so I do assume that Jesus coin, in a matter of no time at all, probably very soon, we'll see a move, a very explosive move that likely takes it up to about 125% to 160%. Like, it's going to happen in like a day, maybe not in a day from now. I mean, it could. Watch tomorrow it happens, but when it does happen, it's going to be very fast. And from there, I expect it to progress higher and see new all-time highs, the minimum target of which would be at 5011. The maximum target, I think, is like 5024, 247. It's like right there, that's about like a 37x, right? And I don't believe it stops there. That's just the next move. That's just like by the end of April, if not by the end of February, what I'm expecting. By the end of the cycle, I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't know how high this thing could go. It's at a $10 million market cap. Even if it was at an $11 million market cap, to do a 100x, you'd be at 1.1 billion. I mean, this thing could, I'm not saying it will, but a 100x is $1.1 billion. An $11 billion market cap is not impossible to achieve. It's an achievement, it's an accomplishment, especially for anything coming from less than $100 million. It's an extraordinary milestone, but it's a very achievable milestone. A coin like this is 1,000xable is all I'm trying to say. If you want a 1,000xable meme coin, Jesus coin might be one of the only ones that still exists in this cycle right now. And it might not do a 1000x this cycle. Maybe it takes multiple cycles to do, but it's also one of those meme coins that I think will be around for multiple cycles because the community that exists has existed for longer than just what this charts existed, right? The people that are involved are people that are Christian minded, right? Christian people. Not everybody, but you know, the good majority is, right? It's all good people nonetheless, but Jesus coin, I think it's got a lot of interesting prospects. It's just it's a meme coin. I'm a top 200 wallet holder of, and I would say more than 3% of my portfolios in this. I'm trying to think, what would that be? Probably closer like 10 or 15 even, man, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. I'm doing the rough math here. I don't even actually know what my portfolio is worth right now, or my holdings are worth right now. But I know that I am in the top 200 wallets. I'm in the top 70 wallets for Pajamas, or top 80. I can't remember. Pajamas is the first YouTube cat. It's another meme coin, right? And the first YouTube cat, I literally mean that. That sounds weird, right? But if you get involved in the Pajamas community, you'll hear that more often. The first YouTube cat. Pajamas is the name of the very first cat that we ever saw on YouTube, right? The very first meme coin cat YouTube video, that was Pajamas. And Pajamas, the owner of Pajamas is Steve Chen. Steve Chen is the co-founder of YouTube. He's also one of the guys that helped start up PayPal. Very successful, very, very smart individual himself. He's also got the guy that owns Twitch, or that founded Twitch. I forget what his name is, involved with this project as well. And there's a guy that owns like hundreds of ATMs, crypto ATMs in Canada, and some in North America too, I think, or not North America. I'm sorry, some in the United States of America, just south of Canada there, that also have some exchanges there. But there's two guys that own some like pretty big companies, like multi-million, hundreds of $1 million companies, if not more than that, right? And they back this as well. And then Steve Chen himself, it was his cat. He didn't make this coin. He just bought 3% of the supply whenever he found out about it. And he is a big supporter of this community. And he says he's putting in 60 to 80 hours of work a week into this thing. Is he still putting 60 to 80 hours a week into work of this thing? I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But I would assume any kind of work that he's putting in, it has some value to it. That value will likely reflect. I think it's going to do well. I think there are big things planned for Pajamas, especially around May. Okay, because that's whenever Pajamas' birthday was, or maybe that was just like the video's birthday, I forget. But I do expect this next move for Pajamas to go anywhere from about 8.5 cents, which is a 31x from here, to about 24.6 cents, which is almost a 100x from here. And that could happen by the end of April. It really could. By the end of the cycle, I expect more than that. I definitely think this coin will not only 100x, but several 100x, right? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is also a 1,000xable coin. The market cap is less than 3 million, so it's a very low market cap coin. Be aware with low market cap coins, right? With coins like Pajamas and Jesus coin, I've probably got an irresponsible amount of my portfolio in this, just to be completely fair. But I believe in this meme coin more, and I've gotten kind of more heavily involved with the community, so I added to the risk in a way that I was more comfortable with. I wouldn't recommend that everybody puts 10 to 20% of their portfolio in Jesus coin, but that's me. I want to say it's above 10 but less than 15. I don't know. I'm trying to think. How would I? It would be around 10. It would be actually literally like just above 10. I just did the math. But anyways, MicroStrategy, last but not least, this was my most recent one that I added to. I hope it makes sense as to why I like Pajamas. It's just a meme coin. It's the first YouTube cat meme coin, man. And I think Steve Chen, successful guy, co-founder of YouTube, brought up PayPal, right? He was one of the first guys that like started out PayPal. I think a guy like that has connections. So what could a guy like that do for a coin like this? I don't know, man. I mean, it's his cat. It's literally his cat. So I'm assuming good things, but time will tell. It's the 20th anniversary of his cat's video this May. Just saying. I think it's going to be good, man. MicroStrategy is my most recent purchase, and I actually plan on opening up some call options with MicroStrategy. But last but not least, MicroStrategy. If you don't know what MicroStrategy is, get out. No, it's a stock. Michael Saylor is a very big name in the crypto space. he buys Bitcoin, he sells his shares to buy Bitcoin, and then he holds that Bitcoin in a treasury for his company Microstrategy, and that gives Microstrategy value, essentially, right? Not always are they selling shares to buy Bitcoin, but primarily that's kind of like what it is nowadays, right? It's just they sell their stock shares to buy Bitcoin, and then they put that Bitcoin back into their stock. Essentially, it's like they're replacing their shares with Bitcoin, so it's like taking copper and replacing it for gold, essentially, or something like that is how I'd compare it, or quite literally paper and replacing it for cryptocurrency. MicroStrategy, I think, has a promising future. I think it's good to always like have a hedge in something that's a little bit more secure, right? This isn't my biggest holding, but I feel like MicroStrategy might be one of the safest plays of the cycle when it comes to a crypto-related stock. Seeing anything from about $1,000 and beyond is almost a guarantee at this point, right? No, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's ever promised, but I do believe that we'll see $1,000 by the end of February, if not sometime in March. And then prices that are worth $2,400 to $5,300, something like that, could happen by the end of the cycle is what I'm thinking. That likely will probably be sometime in Q3 for MicroStrategy is what I'm thinking. So just holding this because, a little diversity there, and got to hedge some risky bets with some safe bets always, right? And then also MicroStrategy I feel like is a little bit more tradable at times too. I do look to do some short-term trades with MicroStrategy here. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, these are my coins. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I ended it a little bit too soon. If I was to add any coins to the mix, right off the bat, if I could add coins, I would probably add more Sandbox, to be completely fair. Sandbox and Mana, I feel like I could add more of those and I would be happy with both, but definitely some Sandbox. AIOZ, I would add some AIOZ to the mix. I had my eyes on this one and I didn't get in. I was going to get in, but I didn't get in. 91.3 cents now. Yeah, I think this one's going to do really well for itself. I think it'll be worth, potentially $50 by the end of the cycle, right? AI or more, AIOZ. So what was it? It was Sandbox, AIOZ. Another one would be Track, Origin Trail. I like Origin Trail a lot. I think this one could do phenomenal as well by the end of the cycle. 81.5 cents now, and it could see new all-time highs, no problem. This thing could break $100 by the end of the cycle. Absolutely a 100xable coin. And then TRB, I was looking at this. Someone requested it the other day, and I haven't really liked this coin, or I haven't thought much of it, but I was looking at it, and I'm like, I think this thing actually has some pretty solid potential. I like the charts. I like the way it looks. I think that it will do at least a 50x, if not 100x from here. It's got the potential to do so, or more than that even. So Teller, definitely something worth mentioning. What was it? So it was Sand, AIOZ, TRB, Track. What else? If I had one more thing, if I wanted to buy one coin, let me go. Maybe some Monero. I might throw out some Monero there. Or Xano, man. Yeah, Monero or Xano. XMR, USD. I feel like this thing, guys, could have an explode, like quite literally a very explosive cycle, like something that is like headline newsworthy. It's at $198. It could be worth $20,000 by the end of the cycle. I don't think it will. I personally don't think it will, but it could happen. I have a suspicion Monero is going to do some frisky, like it's going to do stuff like this cycle. I have a feeling it's going to. It's just about time. And if it's not this cycle, it'll be next cycle. But damn, that'd be a long. 3 cycles to wait for some upside. That'd be a long time to wait. So I think you will see some upside here. And then Xano too, ZANO. Xano USDT here, yeah. I think this thing's got a promising future. It's a low market cap coin. It's been growing a lot. It just keeps growing, man. I think it's at a great price to buy. It could pull back, and that's why with something like this, you might just want to DCA, but you're probably more likely just going to keep DCAing higher. So I don't know. I like this coin a lot. And there's another coin. What coin? Also look into all these coins. Don't just buy them because I'm telling you to. None of this is financial advice. These are just coins that I like. There was another coin I just thought of, and I can't remember it. Damn it. Turbo's a good one. Yeah, Turbo's a good one too. I like Turbo. I think that one will do well. You could do like a 50x or more with this for sure by the end of the cycle. It's 100xable. Absolutely it is. Absolutely this coin's 100xable. What's another coin? Just because I haven't said coins on here doesn't mean that I don't like them or I don't think that they can do well. I think there's plenty of coins that can and will do better even than any of the coins that I've talked about. I just don't, I don't know what they are or assume to know what they are. I don't know. What else? these are not coins that I would swap out for anything specifically. I like VeChain too, but just coins that if I could add to my portfolio, if I were to do it different, I probably would have added some of these. I guess that's it, man. That's probably it. So I'll end the video on that note. If you guys like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Some XDC, maybe some Swift coin, stuff like that, right? Yeah. Some Tezos, maybe. Yeah. What about our number 2 spot here? IOTA seems to be making a comeback. I don't know. Rune, yeah, Rune could be a good one. It's crazy, man. The top 200 page has billion-dollar market caps now. You got to go to the top 200 just to get out of the billion. Yeah, I'm going to end it there, guys. So hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.